Welcome back to another video. Today we will dive into sacred Love July 15th to 31st teasers. Stay tuned and let's get straight into the video. Tuesday, July 15th, 2025. Meghla is caught off guard when Rambir finally lets his emotions show and confesses how deeply he feels for her. His honesty brings a flicker of hope to her heart, but just when things seem to be moving in the right direction, Adrija intervenes with a cruel lie. She falsely claims that Meghla is already married, a revelation that completely shatters Rambir's trust. Unable to process what he's just heard, Rambir's face twists in confusion and anger. He lashes out, questioning Meghla's integrity and the sincerity of her feelings. Meghla tries to defend herself, but the damage is already done. Rambir storms off, feeling betrayed and manipulated, while Adrija silently smirks, pleased with the chaos she has stirred. Wednesday, July 16th, 2025. Rambir, still reeling from the pain of betrayal, makes a heartbreaking decision. He wants Meghla out of his life for good. He deletes her messages, blocks her number, and distances himself emotionally and physically. His love, once so deep, is now buried under a mountain of anger and heartbreak, while Meghla is left to silently mourn the loss. Meanwhile, Adrija continues her manipulations by concocting an even bigger lie. She weaves a dramatic story about Meghla's so-called secret marriage and spins it for the Bajwa family. Her aim is simple: to tarnish Meghla's image and ensure that no one in Rambir's family ever accept her again. And sadly, some members begin to believe her. Thursday, July 17th, 2025. In an attempt to calm his family and prove he's moving on, Rambir reluctantly agrees to marry Adrija. Though his heart is not in it, the pressure from his loved ones weighs heavily on him. He tells himself it's a practical decision, but his hollow eyes reveal the truth. He's only burying his feelings for Meghla. Later, Meher reaches out to Mahua to formally discuss the upcoming marriage. The two families begin the process of planning the engagement, but beneath the surface, an uncomfortable tension brews. Mahua senses that something isn't right, but chooses not to intervene just yet, hoping time will bring clarity. Friday, July 18th, 2025. Meghla is crushed when Meher informs Mahua about Rambir's decision to marry Adrija. Her entire world seems to fall apart in an instant. She tries to stay composed, but the weight of rejection and betrayal suffocates her spirit. Tears stream down her face as she isolates herself, unable to believe that Ranbir has chosen someone else. At the Bajwa household, things take a dramatic turn when Zoravar suddenly behaves in a completely disrespectful and arrogant manner. His harsh words and aggressive stance stun everyone present, leaving Meher and the rest of the family shaken. The timing couldn't be worse, as the atmosphere turns heavy during what should be a celebratory time. Saturday, July 19th, 2025. Seeing Meghla drowning in pain, Mahua tries to uplift her by reminding her of her passion for music. She urges Meghla to let go of the past and rebuild her identity around her voice and strength. Though the advice is well-meaning, it doesn't ease Meghla's pain, as her heart continues to ache for Rambir. Meghla quietly replies that perhaps Rambir and Adrija were destined to be together all along. Her words are laced with sadness and resignation. Though Mahua insists fate is what we make of it, Meghla isn't ready to fight anymore. All she can do is retreat into her music and hope it heals her in time. Sunday, July 20th, 2025. Chandan refuses to attend Ranbir's Ashirwad ceremony, clearly upset about the entire situation. His loyalty lies with Meghla, and he refuses to support a decision that he believes is rooted in lies. But Meghla, gathering every ounce of courage, convinces Chandan to go, for the sake of peace and family unity. Elsewhere, Adrija is not resting easy. While everyone around her is preparing for the ceremony, she's plotting a new scheme. one that is darker and more personal. Her goal now isn't just to marry Rambir, it's to destroy Meghla entirely and make her suffer for daring to love him. Monday, July 21st, 2025. Adrija and her family arrive with pomp and show at the Bajwa's home for the Ashirwad ceremony. The celebrations are in full swing, but tension runs just beneath the surface. As the rituals begin, Rambir pulls Meghla aside, disturbed by the many missed calls he received from her number. When he confronts Meghla, she looks genuinely confused and firmly denies ever making those calls. Her bewilderment seems sincere, but Rambir remains skeptical. The seed of doubt has been planted, and Adrija watches from a distance, satisfied that her trap is working perfectly. Tuesday, July 22nd, 2025. In a public setting, Adrija and Mahua humiliate Meghla by forcing her to apologize to Rambir in front of everyone. Though embarrassed, Meghla quietly accepts the blame to avoid further drama. Her silent dignity in the face of disgrace touches a few hearts, but most turn away, judging her without knowing the full story. Later, overwhelmed by everything, Meghla visits Guruji. With tears in her eyes, she confesses that she never made those calls and doesn't understand how Rambir got them. Guruji listens patiently, sensing that there's more going on than what meets the eye, and encourages her to stay strong and search for the truth. Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025. Chandan suddenly recalls that Meghla was with him the entire time when Rambir received the missed calls. Realizing something is off, he begins connecting the dots and suspects that someone else might be behind this. Fueled by this discovery, he wastes no time and goes straight to confront Adrija. Adrija is caught off guard by Chandan's direct accusations. She tries to dismiss his concerns, but Chandan doesn't back down. His determination rattles her for the first time, and she realizes that keeping her lies hidden might not be as easy as she thought. Thursday, July 24th, 2025. Concerned for Meghla's health, Chandan consults a doctor who gives him terrifying news. Meghla's condition is serious and she needs immediate treatment. He is shaken by the diagnosis and rushes to inform the family, determined to get her the help she needs. However, Adrija once again interferes. When confronted, she boldly declares that Meghla is faking her illness for attention. Her cold indifference shocks those around her, but her lies are convincing enough to sow confusion among the others. Chandan, however, is undeterred. He knows the truth, and he won't let Meghla suffer alone. Friday, July 25th, 2025. Chandan informs Ranbir about Meghla's deteriorating condition. Hearing this, Rambir feels a pang of guilt and decides to visit her. Upon arriving, he's struck by how weak and pale she looks. A swirl of emotions overtakes him: regret, anger, and concern. But even in this vulnerable moment, Adrija doesn't stop scheming. She tells Rambir a twisted version of the story, blaming Meghla for her own condition and painting herself as the victim. Rambir listens quietly, but something about her words doesn't sit right with him. Saturday, July 26th, 2025. Rambir sees Meghla lying weak in her hospital bed, her once vibrant spirit almost extinguished. The sight shakes him to his core. Emotions he tried to bury resurface. He realizes just how deeply he still cares for her. As he sits by her side, he gently begins asking her what really happened and what led her to this point. Adrija watches from outside the room, alarmed that Rambir is beginning to see through the lies. For the first time, fear creeps into her heart. Sunday, July 27th, 2025. As Rambir starts probing Meghla about everything, her feelings, the calls, and their past, Adrija panics. The closer he gets to the truth, the more her web of lies begins to unravel. She interrupts their conversation and finds an excuse to pull Rambir away. Though she manages to stop the questioning for now, Adrija is well aware that Rambir's doubt has been sparked. Behind closed doors, she begins plotting yet another move to distract him and keep the truth buried for as long as possible. Monday, July 28th, 2025. Adrija shocks everyone when she spins a disgusting lie to the Bajwas, claiming Meghla had an affair while being engaged. The family is stunned and begins questioning everything they once believed about Meghla. Mahua, who had always defended Meghla, is too stunned to speak. However, Adrija's confidence is shaken when Rambir announces that he plans to visit Meghla again. She realizes that she may be losing control over him, and that if she doesn't act quickly, her entire game could come crashing down. Tuesday, July 29th, 2025. Rambir finally visits Meghla at the hospital once more, and this time their emotional connection is impossible to ignore. Tears flow freely as they both open up about their pain, confusion, and longing. For a brief moment, time seems to stand still. Later, Rambir confronts Adrija directly about the calls from Meghla's number. His voice is firm, and his eyes are filled with suspicion. Adrija tries to stay calm, but it's clear that her lies are dangerously close to being exposed. Wednesday, July 30th, 2025. Adrija quickly fabricates a new excuse, claiming that she saw Meghla's supposed fiancé using her phone, implying that he made the calls. Though Rambir appears to accept the explanation, a shadow of doubt lingers in his eyes. Purim, too, starts questioning Adrija's story. Her inconsistencies and sudden bursts of drama have begun to raise red flags. The people around her are finally starting to see that things may not be as they seem. Thursday, July 31st, 2025. Rambir advises Meghla to care for herself and subtly calls out her pride. But after Adrija misleads him again, he decides not to drop Meghla home.